it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Moises Caicedo has posted basically a transfer request on his Instagram, and I think Liverpool should be all over this Moises Caicedo deal. Basically, Caicedo heard that Arsenal have bid for him and he wants to force Brighton's hand to sell him in the January transfer window, even though Brighton don't want to sell Moises Caicedo. And I think if Arsenal get Moises Caicedo ahead of Liverpool, Arsenal who are top of the league and they are not really in need of a defensive midfielder. They have already Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, and yes, Xhaka might leave at the end of the season, but still, if Caicedo gets to Arsenal ahead of Liverpool, and if Liverpool are not all over this deal, I will be absolutely fuming with FSG. Let me know what is your opinion. Caicedo said, "I'm grateful to Brighton for giving me the chance to come to the Premier League and feel I have always done the best for them. I always play football with a smile, and I'm the youngest of 10 siblings from a poor upbringing in Ecuador. My dream always was to be the most decorated player in the history of Ecuador, to become that. I'm proud to be able to bring in a record transfer fee for Brighton, which would allow them to reinvest it and help the club continue to be successful. The fans have taken me into their hearts, and they will always be in my heart, so I hope they can understand why I want to take up this magnificent opportunity." But Caicedo accepting Arsenal's transfer offer on Instagram is not how transfer deals work, you know. Moises Caicedo, the club has to accept the transfer. But also, the player publicly coming out and saying that he wants this transfer to happen basically forces Brighton's hand. Do they keep the unhappy player who also right now alienated the large parts of the fan base, because Brighton fans wouldn't look at this and be happy about it, absolutely 100%. And also Brighton probably didn't need this unwanted distraction before they play Liverpool, so that could play into Liverpool's hands. And Liverpool play Brighton tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to the game, even though we've absolutely got smashed by Brighton in the Premier League, and I expect Liverpool to get knocked out of the FA Cup, but hopefully we will put up a bigger fight than against Brighton in the Premier League. This comes after speculation that Arsenal and Chelsea have made former bids to Brighton for Moises Caicedo. Liverpool have been linked with Moises Caicedo, but Ben Jacobs is reporting that Liverpool have dropped out of the Moises Caicedo race, at least in this January, which I find absolutely baffling. Why are not Liverpool all over this deal? Why are we not all over Moises Caicedo? He is exactly the type of player that Liverpool need. 21 years old, very young, very energetic. He can run all day up and down the pitch. He's good at tackling, at getting the ball back from the opposition, at challenges, and that's what Liverpool have been lacking, I think. A really energetic midfielder. I think that Liverpool should pay even like maybe over the odds to get Moises Caicedo in, because this transfer, Moises Caicedo to Liverpool could absolutely transform Liverpool's season. It could be the difference between Liverpool finishing in 5th or 6th place and Liverpool getting top 4, and that is around 50-60 million pound difference in terms of Liverpool revenue. Yes, if Liverpool don't make the Champions League, the players get lower bonuses paid out to them, so maybe the difference maybe is not 50 million, it's a little bit less. But if Arsenal get Moises Caicedo, then they get a huge talent who can help Arsenal get to even more consistent levels, and that will mean that Arsenal's rebuilding process will be even further along than Liverpool's rebuilding process, and we might even have to catch Arsenal alongside Man City and Newcastle next season, and Chelsea, they are spending big money, and Man United. So Liverpool could find themselves easily fighting for 6th place with the likes of Tottenham and Brighton and Aston Villa and other clubs as well. So apparently, according to Sky Sports, Arsenal have bid £60 million for Moises Caicedo, and Brighton rejected that offer. Maybe Liverpool are waiting, and also they were wanting to save money for the Jude Bellingham transfer. That's Jurgen Klopp's priority, I can understand that. But if Liverpool can't pay for Jude Bellingham in the summer and Moises Caicedo Caicedo now? What are we doing with our transfer revenues? What are we doing with our revenues, with our sponsorship deals? Why are we not ambitious enough to try for this player? We signed Cody Gakpo on January the 1st instead of signing a midfielder. And yes, Cody Gakpo was needed because our front line is decimated with injuries. But our midfield has been absolutely shocking. It has been the worst midfield of the past 5 or 6 years under Jurgen Klopp. So why are we not addressing this? The January transfer window is open for 28 days now, and Liverpool still haven't signed a midfielder. As far as I know, I'm making this video and I'm checking all the Liverpool news, and we still aren't even close to signing a midfielder. There are talks of Liverpool trying to sell Nat Phillips to free up some funds, and we should maybe try to sell Naby Keita, Alexis Chamberlain, James Milner, whoever we can sell in the January transfer window to get some funds in so we can go for the Moises Caicedo deal. Please, FSG, pull your finger out and do something. Otherwise, Liverpool will be left further behind by our rivals in the Premier League. And also, Brighton did a brilliant bit of the business when they bought in Moises Caicedo from Independiente della Valle, an Ecuadorian club. They only paid 4.5 million for Moises Caicedo, and he could fetch them a 60, 65, 70 million pound transfer fee now. So they are making 15 times more profit on Moises Caicedo, which is an absolutely incredible deal. And I don't understand where Chelsea are finding all this money. I mean, Chelsea already spent 190 million pounds in just a January transfer window. They spend more money than Liverpool spend usually in 2 or 3 seasons. And they are still trying to sign Moises Caicedo as well. That's the kind of ambition that Chelsea are showing that I would want Liverpool to show. Of course, I don't want Liverpool to spend 200 million in the January transfer window. We can spend more than 30 million that we spent on Cody Gakpo. I'm pretty certain of that. As Arsenal's transfer business is also very impressive. They spent a lot of money last summer on new players, and they have a very young, very energetic, brilliant squad. They added Leandro Trossard already, and because El Neni suffered an injury, Arteta said that Arsenal are going to try and bring in a new midfielder because of the knee injury to El Neni. So Arsenal, even though they are top of the league, they are showing the ambition that you have to show when you are top to keep reinforcing and strengthening the team and strengthening the squad. And I can understand if Brighton doesn't want to sell to Chelsea because they lost their manager Graham Potter mid-season to Chelsea. They also lost Marc Cucurella. That was Brighton's transfer record so far, 62 million in total with a 55 million base fee plus 7 million pound add-ons. So Brighton are not really on good terms with Chelsea right now, but I don't think they are on bad terms with Arsenal and Liverpool. And maybe for Liverpool they could do a 60-65 million pound deal for Moises Caicedo. Yes, that's a lot of money, but that's what it takes if you mess up your summer transfer window by not signing a midfielder. In the January transfer window you have to overpay for a midfielder, but it's better to sign someone right now than to miss out on Champions League football, in my opinion. But apparently FSG, the owners, don't want to give Jurgen Klopp any money, which is absolutely infuriating to me. And according to Football Insider, Liverpool are in talks to sell Nat Phillips before the transfer window closes, and also Liverpool are working on bringing in a loan deal. I think we should go all out for Moises Caicedo and also for Jude Bellingham in the summer, and just move on some players. I would sell Alexis Chamberlain in January, maybe even for a couple of million, and to get his wages off the wage bill. That would be better than losing Alexis Chamberlain in the summer. But I don't know, maybe FSG are in advanced talks with the new owners to come in, and maybe that's why they are not willing to spend any money in the transfer market in January. But I don't understand that. It's Liverpool's money, it's not FSG's money. So why aren't the owners, FSG, backing Jurgen Klopp? Unless they don't care anymore. They decided long ago they want to sell Liverpool, so they don't care. They don't care where the club is going, whether it's going up or downwards, and I don't understand that either, because surely if Liverpool qualify for the Champions League, that makes them more valuable and more attractive to potential buyers than if Liverpool finish in 8th or 9th place. We could easily finish in mid-table if our disastrous season continues. There is no certainty whether Liverpool can overtake the likes of Brighton, who are at the moment a more well-run club than Liverpool, which is really painful to say to me. And also the likes of Brentford and Fulham being in and around Liverpool at the halfway stage of the season is pretty much embarrassing for the club of Liverpool's size. And I understand that the Liverpool players and probably Jurgen Klopp burnt themselves out last season by going for the quadruple, and that has a ripple effect mentally. Thiago, at least, was the one person who stood up and accepted and admitted that going for the Champions League and the Premier League and the FA Cup and the League Cup has pretty much burnt out Liverpool, and especially mentally they are feeling a hangover from last season. And also, of course, the injuries. Liverpool have more injuries at this stage than any other Premier League club had in the history of the Premier League. We have even more injuries. We have players who missed injuries more games than even in the 2021 season, where we almost missed out on the Champions League football, where we had no centre-backs, no senior centre-backs at least, to call upon at the large parts of the season. So I don't understand why FSG are not backing Jurgen Klopp in the transfer market. And Jurgen Klopp said that it's not the Liverpool players' attitude that is the problem, it is the understanding of the necessity. For example, a player would check his running stats after the game and say he ran exactly the same, but defending in the first place is input. The Brighton game was good for making 100,000% everyone aware of this fact. That was the low point, like, okay, that is not allowed. It is hard work to get there again. If it was easy, everyone could have done it. I really saw real steps in the right direction against Wolves and Chelsea, and that's important. That must be my first concern when I think about the starting lineup. And yes, being the cup holders of the FA Cup, I don't think it's a massive advantage, Jurgen Klopp said. We start completely new. We know how great the event is if you arrive at the finals, so that's helpful if you want. And the 18-year-old Stefan Bajcetic signed a new contract just 6 months after signing his last new contract with improved terms, which means that he has a bigger salary, bigger bonuses, and he signed until 2027, so a 4.5-year contract, which is really, really awesome. He said Jurgen Klopp said we were pretty careful with Bajcetic because of his age. He showed now he's ready, and for us it is very helpful with all of his natural skills. It's something we didn't show often enough in recent games. Aggression, but a good aggression. It's not that he kicks players, he's a good footballer. On top of that, he's aggressive, so that's obviously very important in the center of the park. And I think it should ring alarm bells in Fabinho's head. Fabinho is 28, that a player 10 years, he's junior, 10 years younger than Fabinho, is right now contributing more and playing better in a defensive midfield role than Fabinho. Bajcetic is still a kid, even though he's 18 years old, he is officially an adult, but he's still a teenager. And he's playing better, he's playing with more hunger, more desire than Fabinho. And maybe this is exactly what Fabinho needs. A run on the bench, getting him out of the team, getting him just to recompose himself and to figure out why he is not the pressing monster and the ball-winning machine that he was previously. Is Fabinho's career over? I don't think so. I think he still has a lot to give to Liverpool, but maybe this is exactly what Fabinho needs. A little bit of, sitting out, watching from the sidelines, maybe resting, recovering mentally, physically from the last 3 or 4 seasons of grueling, relentless Jurgen Klopp heavy metal, high pressing football, because there hasn't been an alternative to Fabinho really since we signed him. Fabinho has been playing almost every game when he's fit, and that can take a toll on the mind, on the body. So hopefully Fabinho can rest and recover and come back a much, much better player than what he showed in the first half of the season. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.